How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Bazzy here. And today we're going to be taking a nice little dive into talking about multicam sequences and shooting with multiple cameras. So without further ado, we're going to roll the intro. So before we head into Premiere Pro and I show you how to create a multicam sequence, we got to ask the question of why would I want to shoot with multiple cameras? What's the benefit of having multiple cameras and different angles and such? So think about when you're watching a sporting event, watching football or baseball or whatever. There are dozens of cameras all over the place capturing multiple angles and different vantage points and points of view of one thing. And that one thing is the game. Those multiple vantage points and camera angles are being used to help, do replays, or if, a foul call was made or whatever, they can go back, review that footage. They have many different angles to choose from to be able to figure out if whatever call was made was correct or not. There's many different uses for having multiple camera angles. Say you're someone who is doing an interview with someone and you want to also film yourself, the interviewer, as well as the interviewee. You can have two cameras, one on yourself and then one on whoever you're interviewing. Or say that you're a church and you want to have multiple camera angles while you're filming services. Having multiple cameras is a great way to be able to kind of break up the monotony of whatever you're filming. Instead of having one static image, what you're doing is you're adding some dynamic to whatever you're shooting. So the first thing is, in order to make this happen, you're gonna have to have multiple cameras. Now, you don't have to have multiple expensive cameras. You can have several cell phones or several DSLRs or whatever it is you have. As long as you have multiple cameras, this will work. So figure out what you're gonna shoot, get those cameras set up wherever you want, and then hit record and go for it. I actually did a little sequence of me sitting down and eating a McRib from McDonald's. Gross, I know, but whatever. Here, I'm gonna play that for you and show you how I use multiple cameras to film that sequence. Yeah, pretty gross, huh? If you don't like McRibs, that was just painful to watch, but I like them, so there it is. So once you have your footage ready to go, the sequence is shot, go ahead and open up Premiere, open up a new project and a new sequence, label it whatever you want, and get your footage dumped right in there. So next, you'd want to get your footage into your timeline, and I would start making your color grading and correcting and all your audio tweaks and everything right on those clips. Don't worry about cutting them down or whatever. Just start making those adjustments now. That way it's going to be way easier for you once you start actually editing with this multicam sequence. So once your footage is looking dope and that audio is sounding super crisp and tasty, next we're going to want to line up the clips. A pro tip here is right when you hit record, but before you start filming, is you want to clap or you want to make some kind of noise that will make the audio spike and peak, And that way you can use that point right there in the audio to be able to line up the rest of the clips, as long as your camera is picking up audio, which most of them will. Now, when you get into multicam sequence settings, it will give you an option of, hey, let's line up these clips by this camera's audio. For me, I have found that it doesn't work all the time. So I'd rather just do this before, that way it makes the process a little bit more simpler for me. But if it works for you, that's great, that's awesome, love it. All right, once you get them all lined up and ready to go, take each camera and go ahead and highlight it, right click, and you're gonna go to Nest Sequence. This is gonna help kind of compact everything, all your audio and color grade and everything, into a nice, neat package. Then you can label it camera 1, 2, 3, whatever. I personally like to label it whatever camera is shot that. So I have the C100, the M50, the 80D. So once you get that going, then you're gonna head up into your project bin. You're going to find those nested sequences. You're going to highlight those three, select those three, right click, and it's gonna say create a new multicam sequence. So you get that on, a dialog box is gonna pop up. You're gonna go in, you're gonna name the sequence whatever you want it to be, so multicam sequence or eating a McRib or what have you. You're gonna click on audio, you're gonna select whatever camera it is that you wanna sync the audio with. Remember, we did this in the step before, so it's already done. And then you're just gonna click OK, and you have your multicam sequence. So what Premiere just did was they took all the different video clips and the different angles that you had, and they condensed it down into one video clip, which is awesome. It's so cool. It makes it so much easier. And so you're gonna put that in your timeline, but of course you notice, okay, well, Chris, I only see one image on my preview window. There's only one camera angle. Well, we can fix that. If you go to your toolbar just below that and you right click, you're gonna find a little icon that says multicam sequence. Once you drag that onto your toolbar, because once you get this down, you're gonna be using it a lot. And then you click on that. Once you click on that, boom, you're gonna see that there are now all your different camera angles. So on the right-hand side of the screen is gonna be the live camera, the one that's actually gonna be shown on your timeline. And then on the left, you're gonna see a grid of 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, however many cameras you have there. And that's gonna show you the cameras that aren't being seen, but they're there. And then you just hit play, and it's gonna start playing through that sequence. And what you can do is you can use the numbers on your number pad, 1, 2, 3, however many cameras you have, and you hit those numbers and it's going to flip between those cameras live while the playhead's playing. And what Premiere is doing in the background is they're actually making those cuts and edits for you, which is absolutely incredible. Because before that, you would have had to line up everything and then start cutting yourself where you want to, and then start putting in the different camera angles, and it's a nightmare. Once you get this down, it's gonna be a super quick way for you to be able to edit and cut and publish multicam sequences. That's it for me today. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was something that you can just get excited about. It's another tool you can put in your tool belt, box, chest, whatever it is you have, you keep your tools in. And hey guys, if you liked this video, don't think I need to spell it out for you. All right, I'll see you guys later.